Shalom to my brothers and sisters in Yahweh. Welcome. How y'all doing tonight? Well, gang, tonight we have our next study in Jubilees. And tonight we're going to be going over chapters 10, 11, and 12. So if you've got one of the books that have got the Dead Sea Scrolls in them, go ahead and open up to Jubilees. And like I said, chapter 10, 11, and 12. And that way y'all can read along with me while I read tonight. Okay? Alright. I hope everybody's doing good. Alright, y'all settled in? Everybody got their drink and on their nice cushy couch? Good. Okay. And here we go. Jubilees, chapter 10. In the third week of this Jubilee, the unclean demons began to lead astray the children of the sons of Noah, and to make them sin, and to destroy them. The sons of Noah came to Noah their father, and told him about the demons that were leading astray, and blinding and slaying his sons' sons. And he prayed before the Elohim, Yahweh, and said, Yahweh of the spirits of all flesh, who have shown mercy to me, and have spared me and my sons from the waters of the flood, and have not caused me to die, as you did the sons of perdition. For your grace has been great towards me, and great has been your mercy to my soul. Let your grace be lifted up on my sons, and do not let the wicked spirits rule over them, or they will destroy them from the earth. But bless me and my sons, so that we may increase and multiply and replenish the earth. You know how your watchers, the fathers of these spirits, acted in my day, and as for these spirits which are living, imprison them, and hold them fast in the place of condemnation, and let them not bring destruction on the sons of your servant, my Elohim, for these are like cancer, and are created in order to destroy. Let them not rule over the spirits of the living, for you alone can exercise dominion over them, and let them not have power over the sons of the righteous, for now and forever. And the Elohim, Yahweh, commanded us, the angels, to bind all of them. The chief of the spirits, Masterma, came and said, Elohim, Creator, let some of them remain before me, and let them listen to my voice, and do all that I shall say to them. For if some of them are not left to me, I shall not be able to execute the power of my will on the sons of men. For these are for corruption, and leading astray before my judgment. For great is the wickedness of the sons of men. So the bastard, Satan, is pleading with Yahweh to leave some of them for him. He said, Let 1/10 of them remain before him, and let 9/10 of them descend into the place of condemnation. He commanded one of us to teach Noah all their medicines, for he knew that they would not walk in uprightness, nor strive in righteousness. We did according to all his words. All the malignant evil ones we bound in the place of condemnation, and 1/10 part of them we left that they might be subject in the presence of Satan on the earth. We explained to Noah all the medicines of their diseases, together with their seductions, and how he might heal them with herbs of the earth. Noah wrote down all things in a book, as we instructed him concerning every kind of medicine. Thus the evil spirits were precluded from hurting the sons of Noah. He gave all that he had written to Shem, his eldest son, for he loved him greatly above all his sons. Okay, now these medicines that the angels are teaching to Noah, if you look up the word pharmacia, okay, pharmacies, pharmacia, Pharmacia is a Greek word. Okay? It means evil spirits. So the angels are teaching Noah how to deal with the evil spirits. If you know, it's kind of interesting because it stands out like a sore thumb if you know. Go ahead and do the research yourself and then you'll see what pharmacia means. Okay? Pharmaceuticals. Yeah, everybody's got a pill to take nowadays. Sorry, I just had to add that. Verse 15, and Noah slept with his fathers, and was buried on Mount Libar, in the land of Ararat. 950 years he completed in his life, 19 jubilees, and 2 weeks, and 5 years. In his life on earth, he was greater than all the children of men, except Enoch. Because of his righteousness he was perfect, for Enoch's office was ordained for a testimony to the generations of the world, so that he should recount all the deeds of generation to generation until the day of judgment. In the 33rd Jubilee, in the 1st year, in the 2nd week, Peleg took to himself a wife, whose name was Lamnah, the daughter of Sinnar, and she gave birth to a son for him in the 4th year of this week, and he called his name Reu, for he said, Look, the children of men have become evil because the building a city and a tower in the land of Shinar was for an evil purpose. For they departed from the land of Ararat eastward to Shinar. For in his days they built the city and the tower, saying, Go to, let us rise up therein into heaven. Okay, so Shinar is Babylon. Okay, just so we all know, Shinar is Babylon. Who lives in Babylon? Ham's descendants. Because Ham's descendants took over all of that area into Egypt. See, Babylon is in Iraq. To this day, it's still there. Saddam Hussein rebuilt the city, and it's there, it's real. Look it up. Anyway, the descendants of Ham took over the area of the plains. So they inhabit Babylon. They built Babylon. Excuse me. Let me take a drink real quick. They built the city of Babylon. They inhabited Mitzrayim, which is Egypt, and Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay? Just gives you an idea of the lay of the land and who inhabits the land. Okay? Alright, let's move on here. Verse 20. They began to build, and in the 4th week they made brick with fire, and the bricks served them for stone. Got an itch in my throat. Excuse me. And the clay with which they cemented them together was asphalt, which comes out of the sea, and out of the fountains of water in the land of Shinar. They built it. 43 years were they building it. Its breadth was 203 bricks, and the height of a brick was the third of one. Its height amounted to 5,433 cubits, and 2 palms, a palm. And the extent of one wall was 13 times 600 feet, and of the other 30 times 600 feet. So this was not a small structure at all. And the Elohim, Yahweh, said to us, Look, they are one people, and they begin to do this, and now nothing will be withheld from them. Let us go down and confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech, and they may be dispersed into cities and nations, and they will not be in agreement together with one purpose until the day of judgment. And the Elohim descended, and we descended with him to see the city and the tower that the children of men had built. He confounded their language, and they no longer understood one another's speech, and they then ceased to build the city and the tower. For this reason, the whole land of Shinar is called Babel. Okay? Because the Elohim confounded all the language of the children of men there, and from that place they were dispersed into their cities, each according to his language and his nation. Then the Elohim sent a mighty wind against the tower, and it fell to the earth. And behold, it was between Ashur and Babylon in the land of Shinar, and they called its name Overthrown. That kind of makes sense, doesn't it? In the 4th week, in the 1st year, in the beginning of it, in the 4th and 30th Jubilee, were they dispersed from the land of Shinar. Ham and his sons went into the land that he was to occupy, which he acquired as his portion in the land of the south. Canaan saw the land of Lebanon to the river of Egypt was very good, and he did not go into the land of his inheritance to the west, that is to the sea, and he dwelt in the land of Lebanon, eastward and westward from the border of Jordan and from the border of the sea. Ham, his father, and Cush and Mizraim, his brothers, said to him, You have settled in a land which is not yours, and which did not fall to us by lot. Do not do so. If you do, you and your sons will be conquered in the land and be accursed through a war. By war you have settled, and by war your children fall, and you will be rooted out forever. Now remember, Canaan was cursed by Noah. Okay? Do not live in the land of Shem, for to Shem and his sons did they come by their lot. Cursed are you, and cursed will you be beyond all the sons of Noah, by the curse by which we bound ourselves by an oath in the presence of the holy judge, and in the presence of Noah our father. But he did not listen to them, and settled in the land of Lebanon from Hamath to the border of Egypt, he and his sons until this day, for this reason that the land is named Canaan. Okay, remember from our studies in Genesis, the land is named Canaan, not Israel, Canaan. And it's not Palestine. Palestine is BS, bologna sandwiches, because Palestine was named by the Romans after they burned Jerusalem and burned the temple down in 70 AD. As they were leaving, there were the Philistines hanging out outside the city limits, and the Roman soldiers told them that they were now in the land of Palestine and it belonged to them. Okay? Any of these things, look them up. Look them up in Roman history, Catholic history. The Catholics might be corrupt, but they did do excellent history. They've got it all written down in their history books. All you got to do is look it up. Okay? Sorry. Verse 33, But he did not listen to them, and settled in the land of Lebanon from Hamath to the border of Egypt, he and his sons until this day. For this reason that land is named Canaan. And Japheth And his sons went toward the sea and settled in the land of their portion. And Madai saw the land of the sea, and it did not please him. And he begged Ham and Ashur and Aparkshad, his wife's brother, for a portion. And he dwelt in the land of Midia, near to his wife's brother, until this day. And he called his and his son's dwelling place Midia, after the name of their father Madai. Chapter 11. In the 35th Jubilee, in the 3rd week, in the 1st year of it, Reu took to himself a wife, and her name was Orah, the daughter of the son of Chesed, and she gave birth to a son, and he called his name Seror, in the 7th year of this week, in this Jubilee. The sons of Noah began to war with each other, to take captives and kill each other, and to shed the blood of men on the earth, and to eat blood, and to build strong cities and walls and towers. And individuals began to exalt themselves above the nation, and to establish kingdoms, and to go to war, people against people, and nation against nation, and city against city, and all began to do evil, and to acquire arms, and to teach their sons war. And they began to capture cities, and to sell male and female slaves. So there is the establishment of slavery. Okay? All these thousands of years, there's your start of slavery, and where it started and who started it. Okay, just a mental note. Verse 3, the son of Chesed, built the city of Arah of the Chaldees, and called its name after his own name, and the name of his father. And they made themselves molten images, and they worshipped the idols and the molten image they had made for themselves. And they began to make graven images, and unclean and shadowy presence, and malevolent and malicious spirits assisted and seduced them into committing transgression and uncleanness. It didn't take too long after the flood for the mayhem to begin again, did it? 5. Prince Mastema exerted himself to do all of this, and he sent out other spirits which were put under his control, to do all manner of wrong and sin, and all manner of transgression, to corrupt and destroy, and to shed blood on the earth. For this reason he called the name of Serug, for everyone turned to do all manner of sin and transgression. He grew up and dwelt in of the Chaldees, near to the father of his wife's mother, and he worshipped idols. And he took to himself a wife in the 36th Jubilee, in the 5th week, in the 1st year of it, and her name was Melchah, the daughter of Cabur, the daughter of his father's brother. She gave birth to Nahor in the 1st year of this week, and he grew and dwelt in of the Chaldees, and his father taught him the science of the Chaldees to divine and conjure according to the signs of heaven. Witchcraft. In the 37th Jubilee, in the 6th week, in the 1st year of it, he took to himself a wife, and her name was Iaska, the daughter of Nastag of the Chaldees, and she gave birth to Terah in the 7th year of this week. Prince Mastema sent ravens and birds to devour the seed that was sown in the land, in order to destroy the land and rob the children of men of their labors. Before they could plow in the seed, the ravens picked it from the surface of the ground. This is why he called his name Terah, because the ravens and the birds seduced them to destruction, and devoured their seed. This is pretty deep. This has got a lot of deep stuff in it because we're exploring the evil side of the family, the wicked side of the family that was all into all the evil stuff and being guided along by these these spirits of the dead Nephilim and giants. Wow. Verse 13. The year began to be barren because of the birds, and they devoured all the fruit of the trees from the trees. It was only with great effort that they could harvest a little fruit from the earth in their days. In this 39th Jubilee, in the second week in the first year, Terah took to himself a wife, and her name was Edna, the daughter of Abram, the daughter of his father's sister. In the 7th year of this week she gave birth to a son, and he called his name Abram, by the name of the father of his mother, for he had died before his daughter had conceived a son. And the child began to understand the errors of the earth, that all went astray after graven images and after uncleanness. And his father taught him writing, and he was 2 weeks of years old, and he separated himself from his father, that he might not worship idols with him. So Abram said, I'm out of here, and split. Verse 17. He began to pray to the Elohim of all things, that he might spare him from the error of the children of men, and that his portion should not fall into error after uncleanness and vileness. So that's how Abraham came into the world. Verse 18. The time came for the sowing of seed in the land, and they all went out together to protect their seed against the ravens. And Abram went out with those that went, and the child was a lad of 14 years. The cloud of ravens came to devour the seed, and Abram ran to meet them before they settled on the ground, and cried to them before they settled on the ground to devour the seed, and said, Descend not, return to the place from where you came. And they began to turn back. And he caused the clouds of ravens to turn back that day 70 times. And of all the ravens throughout all the land where Abram was, there settled not so much as one. All who were with him throughout all the land saw him cry out, and all the ravens turned back, and his name became great in all the land of the Chaldees. There came to him this year all those that wished to sow, and he went with them until the time of sowing ceased, and they sowed their land. And that year they brought enough grain home to eat, and they were satisfied. In the first year of the 5th week, Abram taught those who made implements for oxen, the artificers in wood, and they made a vessel above the ground, facing the frame of the plow, in order to put the seeds in it. And the seeds fell down from it on the share of the plow, and was hidden in the earth, and they no longer feared the ravens. After this manner they made vessels above the ground on all the frames of the plows, and they sowed and tilled all the land, according as Abram commanded them, and they no longer feared the birds. Chapter 12. In the 6th week, in the 7th year of it, that Abram said to Terah his father, saying, Father, he said, Look, here am I, my son. He said, What help and profit have we from those idols which you worship, and in the presence of which you bow yourself? Because his father was making these idols. He was the idol maker for the people. Verse 3. for there is no spirit in them. They are dumb forms, and they mislead the heart. Do not worship them. Worship Yahweh of heaven, who causes the rain and the dew to fall on the earth and does everything on the earth, and has created everything by his word, and all life is from his presence. Why do you worship things that have no spirit in them? For they are the work of men's hands, and you bear them on your shoulders, and you have no help from them. But they are a great cause of shame to those who make them, and they mislead the heart of those who worship them. Do not worship them. His father said to him, I also know it, my son, but what shall I do with a people who have made me serve them? If I tell them the truth, they will kill me, because their soul clings to them, so they worship them and honor them. Keep silent, my son, or they will kill you. And these words he spoke to his two brothers, and they were angry with him, and he kept silent. In the 14th Jubilee, in the 40th Jubilee, in the second week, in the 7th year of it, Abram took to himself a wife, and her name was Sarai, the daughter of his father, and she became his wife. Haran, his brother, took to himself a wife in the 3rd year of the 3rd week, and she gave birth to a son in the 7th year of this week, and he called his name Lot. Nahor, his brother, took to himself a wife in the 60th year of the life of Abram, that is, in the 4th week, in the 4th year of it. Abram arose in the night and burned the house of the idols, and he burned all that was in the house, and no man knew it. And they arose and sought to save their gods from the fire, small g. Haran hasted to save them, but the fire flamed over him, and he was burnt in the fire, and he died in Ur of the Chaldees, before Terah his father, and they buried him in Ur of the Chaldees. Terah went out from Ur of the Chaldees, he and his sons, to go into the land of Lebanon, and into the land of Canaan, and he dwelt in the land of Haran. And Abram dwelt with Terah his father in Haran 2 weeks of years. In the 6th week, in the 5th year of it, Abram sat up all night on the new moon of the 7th month to observe the stars from the evening to the morning, in order to see what would be the character of the year with regard to the rains. And he was alone as he sat and observed. And the word came into his heart, and he said, All the signs of the stars and the signs of the moon and of the sun are all in the hand of the Elohim. Why do I search them out? If he desires, he causes it to rain, morning and evening. And if he desires, he withholds it, and all things are in his hand. He prayed in the night and said, My Elohim, Yahweh Most High, you alone are my Elohim, and you and your dominion have I chosen, and you have created all things, and all things that are the work of your hands. Deliver me from the hands of evil spirits who have dominion over the thoughts of men's hearts, and let them not lead me astray from you, my Elohim, and establish me and my offspring forever, so that we do not go astray from now and forever. He said, Shall I return to Ur of the Chaldees, who are trying to find me? Should I return to them? Am I to remain here in this place? The right path is before you. Make it prosper in the hands of your servant, that he may fulfill it, and that I may not walk in the deceitfulness of heart, O my Elohim. He stopped speaking and stopped praying, And then the word of Yahweh was sent to him through me, saying, Get out of your country, and from your kindred, and from the house of your father, and go to a land which I will show you, and I shall make you a great and numerous nation. And I will bless you, and I will make your name great, and you will be blessed in the earth, and in you shall all families of the earth be blessed. And I will bless them that bless you, and curse them that curse you. I will be an Elohim to you, and your son, and your son's son, and to all your offspring. Fear not, for now on, and to all generations from the earth, I am your Elohim. Oh, my nose. The Yahweh Elohim said, Open his mouth and his ears, that he may hear and speak with his mouth, with the language which has been revealed. For it has ceased from the mouths of all the children of men from the day of the overthrow of Babel. So right here we have established Hebrew. Okay? This is where it all comes from. Yahweh taught Abram Hebrew. Oh, I wish my nose would quit itching. And I opened his mouth and his ears and his lips, and I began to speak with him in Hebrew, the tongue of the creation. Get it? That's why it's so important that our Bibles are a direct translation from Hebrew to English. Because when words have meaning, Yahweh established the language of Hebrew. All the words have meaning. When you translate them into the language of the nations, Greek, Roman, and then English, you lose the meaning of the words. Okay? So when you're reading a Bible, it's best if you have a Hebrew to English translation. That way the words don't get watered down. Okay? Here it is, right here in Jubilees. Okay? Verse 27. He took the books of his fathers, and these were written in Hebrew, and he transcribed them, and he began from then on to study them. And I made known to him that which he could not understand, and he studied them during the 6 rainy months. In the 7th year of the 6th week, he spoke to his father and informed him that he would leave Haran and go to the land of Canaan to see it, and return to him. Terah his father said to him, Go in peace. May the eternal Elohim make your path straight, and Yahweh be with you, and protect you from all evil, and grant to you grace, mercy, and favor before those who see you, and may none of the children of men have power over you to harm you. Go in peace. If you see a land pleasant to your eyes to dwell in, then arise, and take me with you, and take Lot with you, the son of Haran, your brother, as your own son. The Elohim be with you. Nahor your brother leave with me until you return in peace, and we go with you all together. And that ends chapter 12. Okay? So even though this is a non-canonical book or an extra-canonical book, you can see where things changed. The original language was Hebrew until Babel came around. And then Yahweh made all of their language Babel so that none of them could understand each other. At that time, the language was changed. By the time Abram came around and was speaking with Elohim, then Elohim said, okay, this is how we're going to do this, kid. We're going to go ahead and we're going to speak Hebrew again. This is my language, and I'm going to teach you how to speak it. So from that point on, Hebrew was the language of not only Elohim, but Abraham and his descendants also. Abram and his descendants also. That's where we come up with Hebrew. Not Latin, not Greek. No, Hebrew. Okay? It explains a lot. It also explains a lot about how Ham took over and shuffled his brothers off of their land. Pretty wicked. And how his son Canaan took over all the land that should have belonged to Shem. Yeah. And as we go along, we'll see more and more and more corruption of the land, because you're going to start seeing a rebirth of the giants. Yeah. And of Nephilim, especially in Mitzrayim, in Egypt. A lot of Nephilim there. Anyway, I hope y'all are getting something out of this study. I know some things are different from your Bible, but there's also things that enhance what we've learned from our Bible studies through Genesis. Okay? And it explains a lot of things. Like I said, the Extra-canonicals are a 64 box of crayons to color in the picture of the black and white that we get from the Bible. Okay? You have to read it with discernment. So pray for discernment so Yahweh will show you what is and what is not. Because it was written by the Pharisees, remember. Okay? So anyway, I hope that y'all are enjoying the study. I hope y'all are following it with me and have an interest in it. We need to be interested. We need to be studying not only the Bible, but we need to study the Extra-canonicals as well, so that we can compare and contrast and maybe get a little bit more information, knowledge and wisdom out of our studies. Okay? Alright. Thank you for joining me tonight. That's all I got. So, I will see you on our midweek Bible study. Y'all have a good evening, and we'll see you later. Shalom.